I found this article online today, and it's from The Telegraph, and the title of the thing is, "Are you a sexist without even realising it?" And it's aimed at men. Well, no, I'm well aware of the fact that I'm sexist, so it doesn't apply to me. You might think you're a liberal-minded, pro-equality kind of guy. No, not really. But if anything on the list below strikes a chord, you're actually a sexist. Well, it's written by a guy called Tom Fordy. Tom, if you ever get to listen to this, you can't write a long enough bloody list to describe all the ways that I'm sexist. But anyway, let's have a little look at Tom's list. And he lists 8 things. And you're going to need a bigger list, Tom, like I say. Anyway, he starts his preamble, "Am I alone?" Well, I've scanned read the article already, and if I was a woman, and you'd be alone, Tom. Anyway, I'll miss the rest of his preamble and just go straight to 1. Admitting how rubbish you are at domesticity. Last week, my partner and child went away. Within an hour, I'd accidentally tumble-dried a load of dirty washing and spent my day's shopping budget on Pringles and pork scratchings. What a twit. Recognising my own inability to look after myself, I tweeted about it. Oh dear God, before panicking that I had reinforced and worse, made light of the backward notion that men are utterly useless at domestic work. Yes, it is backward, Tom, although your domestic work does seem to be backward. As he admits that it's completely true, so he admits that he's utterly useless at domestic work. Anyway, 2, believing women should be able to do what they want, even take their clothes off. Like me, you may not be particularly interested in pictures of scantily clad women in men's magazines. Now, I prefer hardcore pornography online myself, like most guys. But indifference is simply not enough. Modern man should support the complete abolishment of such publications, regardless of whether it's ultimately an act of censorship and means denying intelligent adult women the right to choose their own profession. Down with this sort of thing, as Father Ted might have said. Father Ted. Maybe Father Ted's his local priest. I don't know, I think if I was a local priest, I might administer the last rites to this bloody article. Anyway, let's continue. 3. Being confused about free the nipple. Speaking of nudity, if during the recent Free the Nipple campaign to decriminalise exposure of the female body, you secretly thought to yourself, boobs in or out, which is it? You're way behind the times and should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. Best course of action is not to say it out loud and refrain from looking at anyone's nipples other than your own. You look at your own nipples, Tom? You don't look at your spouse's nipples? Well, whatever, anyway. So, Free the Nipple campaign. Well, women walk around the workplace with showing loads of cleavage anyway, and maybe this is a campaign to what, so they can get their whole tits out? I really don't know. But I'm going to assume here, possibly completely incorrectly, and my apologies to Tom if I'm wrong about this, that he believes that women should be allowed to get their boobs out. Well, maybe Tom could try walking into the Telegraph office one day with half his cock hanging out, or all of it, and see what the women think of that. Maybe we should have a Free the Cock campaign. Anyway, 4. Angering feminist nerds. Well, I don't want to anger them, I want to infuriate them, and Tom's so polite, he calls them feminist nerds. I just call feminist cunts, amongst many other nasty insults, which they thoroughly deserve. Anyway, what he says here is, Age of Ultron director Joss Whedon has come under fire this week, chased off Twitter by trolls who dubbed his portrayal of Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow as sexist because she cops off with the Hulk. Never mind the fact you're someone with a long history of championing strong female characters. No, I'm not. Fuck it. Let's stop right there. It's a very good point to be made here. One of the reasons I stopped watching television many years ago was because the ridiculous stereotyping of the male and female characters, whether it was in comedies, dramas, soaps, adverts, you name it. And there's this continuous, non-stop feminist assault on television companies, courtesy of usually from the press, and they're always told that there aren't enough strong female characters. These strong female characters, what they've done in TV is stand, and in film, they've stood millions of years of Mother Nature and evolution on its head. And so the male characters who are portrayed as being positive are given all the characteristics that would have considered to have been strong in former years. In females, they're made effeminate. They're made to be soft, gentle, caring, kind, understanding, loyal, trustworthy, and they listen to all the women around them. In other words, they're feminine. And the women, on the other hand, these so-called positive women, they're thrusting, strident, confident, overconfident, aggressive, empowered women, taking charge, taking control, usually of all the whimpering, weakling little males around them. And they just scatter them all around them like skittles in a bowling alley. I can remember this bloody drama donkeys years ago, a police drama, and this female was in charge of I can't remember the name of the thing, and she was put in charge of the police station, and of course she was, it's just a standard stereotype. She'd be confronted by a man who'd make some sexist, demeaning comment, or another man, and she'd whack them down with verbals and put them in their place, and then show everyone how she was just absolutely superior to all the men. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent there. He finishes off this point by saying, just don't make the nerds angry. No, I want to make them fucking livid. You wouldn't like them when they're angry. I fucking hate them anyway, and I don't care how angry they get. 5. Not being offended by the Are You Beachbody Ready advert. Oh yes, this was quite a while back. By the way, I'll pin the article to... I'll stick it in the comments section and pin it to the top. Yeah, that was, I can remember that one. That was a fuss about an advert showing a woman in a bikini, and apparently this was fat shaming women, and it was blah blah blah. Anyway, this guy says, if you don't think that this is an example of abject sexism, or no different than aspirational images you see in every facet of the media every single day, including more socially acceptable ones, you probably need to take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Well, I look at my face in the mirror, Tom. You're too busy staring at your nipples, apparently. But anyway, at which point you might realise you're amongst the 99% of the world's population also not beach body ready. A little bit of fat shaming there. And that is nothing to get your knickers in a twist about. Well, I don't wear knickers. 6. Using phrases like knickers in a twist. Oh, that's a good follow-on one, Tom. To Americans who haven't heard the phrase, it's panties in a bunch, same bloody thing. Well, speaking of knickers in a twist, Tom, I mean, didn't you get your wife's knickers in a twist? Remember the spin-drying fucking thing? Fucked up. Okay, Tom, you've twisted her knickers in the tumble dryer, and the way I see it is you have two choices. Number 1, you can demonstrate the feminine side of you, although you're doing that very well already. You could show your empathy for her by getting those twisted knickers, putting them on, and then shove some toilet paper down the front, and imagine you're having a period, because when women don't have tampons, they use toilet paper, of course. And then you could pretend that you're having a PMT attack. That's supposed to be pre-menstrual tension, or I call it prehistoric monkey tantrums. And you could pretend to be a woman, greet your wife when she comes in, fuck her up, throw half the house at her, and have a prehistoric monkey tantrum. And say it was your feminine side coming out, because I believe I saw in someone's video recently that universities, some of them in the United States, are now putting tampons, whatever, in the male bathrooms there for menstruating men. For fuck's sakes! Or you could play it another way. You could put the knickers on and just open the front door to her, say, and tell her that you wear the knickers in the house now. Because the guy who wears the trousers in the house, men don't wear the trousers. Women are the boss, they're in charge and they know it, because of the absolutely corrupt divorce system. Anyway, I'm about to go off on another tangent, completely running out of time here. So, knickers in the twist, he says. Other offensive colloquialisms, number 6, let's go to number 7. 7, thinking that having a female doctor would be rubbish. Well, I've actually had 7 female doctors, over the years, and they've all been excellent. He says, as in Doctor Who. I've actually read the article already. Hang on a sec. Clear my throat. As in Doctor Who, not your general practitioner. The Doctor has been male for over 50 years. It's a defining part of his character. It's integral to the dynamic between him and his supporting cast. He's got a TARDIS full of trousers. I swear to God, when I read this without my reading glasses on, for some reason I read trousers full of turds. And I just thought of Tom, getting into a panic and shitting his pants because he's got his wife's knickers in a twist. But anyway, that's me going off on another tangent. But if you think that means he shouldn't be played by a woman just for the sake of it, you need to bring yourself back into the 21st century, sharpish. And while you're at it, start suggesting actresses for the next James Bond. I'm glad he brought that up, really, because I hope they do make Doctor Who's inevitably gonna put a female in the role, and I hope it tanks. I really bloody do. And as for James Bond, I suspect they know that the second they come up with a female James Bond, that's the end of the franchise, and that'll serve them right. Talk about losing money, but anyway. 8. Oh, that just reminds me, I'm pretty sure that box office receipts are down now in Hollywood. Possibly. It's been said because so many of these twats and twatesses in Hollywood, these actors and actresses, have come out saying the most stupid things about Trump, and anyway, that's another subject for another day. 8, he finishes, defending men ever. So don't do that. This is the biggest of all sexist taboos. Standing up for men in any way. I've been doing it for 25 years. Shape or form, regardless of the topic or how hugely diverse men are across the world. Never ever speak up or enter a debate in which you attempt to defend the plight of innocent, bewildered and largely good-natured men, unless you want to be immediately told you're part of the problem, as the below comments will no doubt prove. You can look at the comments for yourself. Tom was anticipating that the comments section might be attacking him. Quite the opposite. It was men attacking feminists mostly. Just leave it alone and listen. It's far easier that way. I rather suspect that this article is, I don't know whether this guy's for real or not. I get the impression myself, for right or wrong, that he's actually having a go at all these bullshit stereotypes. Anyway, you can read the article yourself and make your own mind up. So thank you very much.